Hey people, I'm going to try to read Matthew 16. It's what I was going to read this morning, but I ended up talking. And then I ended up going down and eating some good food, so it was really good too. Boy, they did it up right. That ham was one of those spiral cut hams. Wow. And she said they brought the whole thing. And then I haven't opened the potatoes, but they're supposed to be like funeral potatoes. So that potato casserole of some sort. I hope it's cooked well. I bought some dehydrated, um, what they call funeral potatoes. Everything all in one bag and it's all dehydrated, and then you just make it up. But I can never get it to rehydrate good. It was all, I love my potatoes soft, firm but soft, and then soaking up all the sauce into them so they just taste so good. Now, those little yellow potatoes already taste buttery just by being what they are. They taste so good. A little salt and pepper and hardly any butter, and it's really good. I like butter. Like me and my Papa Bear, he liked butter. But, we took solace in the fact that it was a good fat. It was good for us. And it sure did make the food taste better. So, really, truly, for a diabetic, it's a good fat. And I don't know how to explain that. I know that rhymed. Um, I was going to try to show you guys a picture, but I don't know how to do that. Let me see. Oh, that's how I can do that. Okay, I tried to go and be able to show you guys this, but I have to do things the back way, the back doorway or something. So here, let's see if we can get you to see it. Can you see that? That's what the app looks like, okay? The Gospel Library. Go to the App Store and put in Gospel, Gospel, space, library, Library, I think. I'm just thinking because I don't have it in front of me, okay? But Gospel Library, and that picture that I just showed you should show up, okay? It's blue background, like a slate blue background, with like a statue of Jesus, just in white, small, like an app. Anyway, let me see if I can do that again. It's right there. So that's what the app looks like. I got it made big. I made it big. But that is Jesus Christ, okay? And you'll see it a lot better on your app. Just go to the App Store and put in Gospel Library and put it on your phone. And it's free. No excuses, okay? And especially if you're really interested, it'll read it to you. And it'll do a lot better job than me. Now, the thing about going to church, the first meeting is your sacrament meeting, and then the next meeting is we separate into classes. And every other week we have a gospel doctrine class. And then I'm not sure if that's exactly what they call it now, but it's the same thing. Um, where the men and women meet together in one meeting. But so every other week is like that. And then the other week is Relief Society for the women and priesthood meeting for the men. And then the children have their own thing going on, and they separate into age groups. They've got teachers and all that stuff. And everybody that is doing all that stuff, being a teacher, a counselor, a bishop, a stake president, whatever, is all voluntary. They do not get paid. And a bishop is likened to being the father of a ward. He oversees and takes care of and sees the things for his sheep, per se. Jesus is the shepherd, and we're all his sheep. But now there's so many. He's got people designated to work in his field, to work in his harvest. Can you understand that? He that hath an ear, let him hear. We're all taking part in teaching the world the truth, the gospel of Jesus Christ. And it is love. okay? A different kind of love than all you people are supposing that you're doing out there. We've all given up hope, I think. You know, those of you who are willy-nilly out there sharing your bodies, you're doing a detriment to yourself and to your mate. Quit it. The sooner you quit it, the better. Save yourself for your person. Or you're never going to have your person, I don't think. I don't know. I just know that there are those of us who don't like to share. And the way of the world, we all have to share. It sucks. That which is so sacred and so precious, you don't share that with everybody. You give it to your mate. You save yourself. Don't get caught up in the things of the world. Let it go. Our purpose is to fight off the natural man. And the natural man is carnal. And especially once they've partaken of it. Oh my. Imagine it's a hard thing to let go of. Sometimes it's like, a lot of times it's like women are different than men, okay? We hold on to things more sacred. Except for I don't know about how they are out there now, because so many people have been hurt. So many people have been through who knows what. They're ruined for those that are trying to have something really wonderful. Just saying, people. You're not necessarily ruined totally, but a lot of bad things are going to happen to you for taking it so lightly. I already know it's happened to me. The scriptures talk about us turning in, our hearts will turn cold somehow. I don't know where that is, but it does say it, that in that day, the hearts will wax cold. And that's where we are. And I've been there. I believe I've gotten warmed up some, because I sure did cry a lot. I don't like that. But I do know where it comes from, so. Anyway, where am I at? We're at 7 minutes. So I take it. See, I take it I have not done anything of what I was supposed to do. I've just been jabbering. And I've got Christmas movies up there. And Nancy gave me a big old suitcase. It's really nice. So I'm going to start trying to figure out my clothes and putting them in the suitcase and be ready to go. So when I leave here Christmas Day, I will be packed and ready to go. And maybe I'll have enough room for everything, because I didn't realize most of what I had was books. I got books and I got shoes. And both those things take up room. The books are so heavy. And then I've got some special things here that I don't know. I want to kind of leave them here until I take my car. Because that picture up there was from 1910, people. That's special. And it's very special to me. So it's got to go with me. And I don't think it's going to really be fitting in my suitcase. But I think what's going to happen is I'm going to go and spend some time at Jesse's. And I'll have a lot of stuff, because I'm going to be able to have 2 big suitcases and a carry-on and my personal item. And my personal item is that backpack that looks like a suitcase. I mean, it works really good, except for it's freaking heavy. I'm just saying. I wasn't thinking too clearly, so my suitcase doesn't have wheels, okay, so I have to carry it. But I did think clear enough that I got it to be a backpack. But see, I got all this long hair that gets in the way, and then just trying to get it up over on my back, because it's heavy. You have to have someone help you out. If you're not traveling alone, it's okay because it's a lot easier to put that backpack on if someone else is helping me do it. So anyway, it's one of those things you think you might make you fall over, but that's just because I'm not as strong as I used to be. I'm going to get strong. I'm going to build up my muscles. I am being silly. But really, that's going to be really nice. I don't really want to pick you up and show you that suitcase, but it's really pretty cool. So between that and my New York City suitcase, I've got two nice big suitcases that I can check, and they can be 50 pounds, I think. And so that's what I started to say is clothes are heavy. I had just clothes in my backpack, and then I took some out, and it was still heavy. And that wasn't this time. I think this last time I did better. Just have to pare down because I have found that no matter I take clothes and stuff, but I don't use those change of clothes. You know, you can just take a small amount of clothes and then do laundry. You have to have a set to wear and maybe a couple of sets otherwise, so that gives you 3 sets. And you can wear your clothes more than one day, people. I don't know if you've noticed that I do that. I know. Living out on the farm, not having laundry facilities, and having to just not having the niceties of life that a lot of us take for granted, like doing laundry. Wow. And we had to drive 25 miles to town where the laundromat was because we didn't have laundry. And we drove every day to go get water from the well because we had cows that drank it all up. So every day we were just starting a vehicle and driving 1,500 feet and filling up a water tank, and then driving 1,500 more feet back and filling up a water tank for the cows. And then also we had to be getting water for ourselves too. The only problem is it doesn't work too good during the winter. Your valves break, they freeze and they break. And this is on a water tank where you're hauling about 350 gallons of water, something like that. Anyway, what was the point of all that? It's just that it's not all that great to be living like that, for one thing, but that wasn't what I started out with. It's okay. What I need to do is I got to get me some crackers. I was going to show you my suitcase. I really like it. So, Anthony gave it to Nancy, and Nancy gave it to me, and I'm so excited. And I'm not going to be reading just yet because I'm busy getting distracted. Watch out, little kitty. I love this thing. Okay, so I'm going to put it down here, move it over here. Okay, turn it around there. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn you towards the suitcase. So for that, I'm going to have to pick you up. Okay, you're not going to see it very well. Can you see that gray thing over there? So if I pick you like this, I don't know if you can see. Okay, yes you can. So I'll bring it over here, away from that light. Okay. I don't know how to do it very well, but that's how I'm doing it, okay? It's really pretty nice. It's on wheels. That's as high up as that goes. But it's pretty cool, pretty chill. Is that what they would say? Pretty chill, man. I'm just being silly, but I really like that. Charcoal gray matches my car. Trippin'. That's pretty neato. Hopefully you saw it well. I'm going to come in here and get me something that I've started eating. I ate them with Dad. I really like them, but you know, it's probably not good for me. And there is I'll just get it later. I have a few pops in a case. Oh, okay. Let me just see. I'm a traveling man. You know what I mean. Okay, I'm missing the show. Forgot about the show. It's Christmas time, so they play some good shows. I'm going to put those over there. And then I'm going to pick you up and put you back over here. Let's see what we got. I did find that I was dreaming. You know, the more sleep you get, the deeper sleep you get. That's the deal, is the deeper sleep you get. Then you start dreaming again. In other words, I used to dream. I used to wake up 5 or 6 times a night from dreams, okay? I mean, I would wake up after a dream. So I've learned recently that we have sleep cycles. 90 minutes is a sleep cycle. And so that's an hour and a half. So how many hours and a half are in 8 hours or whatever? But nevertheless, I would go to bed and I would be waking up all night long from dreams. And I found them very interesting. I wanted to write them down. But I haven't dreamed in a long time. And that is one of the things that's probably true about marijuana. It can, remove your dreams. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to put my life on that one. But just from experience, when I was having those dreams all night long, I was not smoking pot. I was living up on that mountain on 500 acres, and I was not smoking pot. I want to have that, but I look terrible when I eat, so I can't do that. All right, we're at 17 minutes. Well, I didn't do what I was going to do, and I know I could just do all kinds of different things, different ways, and I was talking about, earlier anyway, I was talking about teaching the Book of Mormon. That might have been in a different video. And I was talking about the manuals, and I've got them all covered up now. I was taking books from Mom and Dad's, okay? And even in the past, I've worked at the church library. And each ward has a library. There's a calling for a librarian, one that goes there and takes care of materials, because the teachers and stuff will come to the librarian, to the library, to get help, whether it be artwork or different things that they can use in their lessons, okay? They can check them out from the library. Well, I worked in there. I was not the librarian, but I was the assistant. And then they would purge materials, and they'd be getting rid of all these manuals and stuff, so I was taking them home. But, not everybody had a liking for my stuff. I did it so that I could use it to teach. And then I never did. Well, I was going through my stuff the other day, these books, because I took some books from Mom and Dad's. And they had some manuals. So I took 3 different manuals. There's a manual for 3 different years. Okay? But I've got it in that box, on the bottom of that box, I'm sure. But the point is, I don't remember seeing the Book of Mormon on the list. I think the Old Testament and the New Testament was. So I'm not sure what the third one was. Because I had thought about that before. I could use the manuals as a guide and do little bleeps, instead of doing a whole... I could do a big old class, I guess, but there's never enough room. There's never enough time in the class to cover the materials. Because I gave a Relief Society lesson. And I was going as fast as I could, and you just can't cover the ground. And it tells you not to worry about covering all the ground. The idea is you get in there with, like the Relief Society is a women's group. You get in there, and if you're teaching the lesson, you engage the room. You engage the people. You get them to participate. And we carry on a conversation, and you never get all the materials covered, okay? Try as you might, you're not going to. But you can have a good lesson. You can have a lesson that the women enjoyed, and have a conversation going on and still cover scriptures. It's just you never know how it's going to go. And I gave a Relief Society lesson, and that's Relief, RELIEF, Relief Society lesson. And that's the Relief Society. I think I always called it Relief Society. No, it's not it. It's Relief Society. Pretty wonderful organization. And Joseph Smith started that organization too. Way back when. Just a lot of things. A lot of wonderful things about the church. And it's there for everybody. If you want to do good service and you don't know anybody, you can just join in with that group and be helping. Sometimes it costs some money to help. I'm not sure how that goes these days. If you're taking meals into somebody like they did with Dad and me when I had surgery, they brought meals in for Dad and me. Anyway, I'm not sure if you have to dig into your own pocket sometimes or not, because it depends on how well off the church has gotten. Because there was times when you had to kind of dig in because the church wasn't that wealthy. I don't know if I should be using that word, but the church has resources all over the world. And we have, I'm going to still say we, because I have not been excommunicated. I just don't go to church. I forget what it was I was going to tell you about. The welfare program. I'm not sure if it's called the welfare farm, because it's the food. Okay? So if you're in need, I'm just saying, there are times if you come across hardships and stuff that you can see the Relief Society president, and she will coordinate, and you might be able to go and get some stuff, some food from it's like a food bank. So it's the church's food bank. I'm not sure how it works because I haven't used it. But it's there for you, members of the church. Okay, that's enough of that. Point is, the church is really great. It's even got schooling programs. I think they call it Pathway. I could go and check into that. I think I just met somebody at Dad's ward that went through that. She was getting her degree. The church will help you out. But even if they won't help you out, they have learning, which I'm sure is a lot cheaper than out there. There's craziness out there. There's craziness afoot. And in my opinion, the private clubs, the private people that paid for their children's education under the table or whatever because, you had to pass a test or something. There should be a private club for those people that can go and get schooling anyway. It shouldn't just be for those that are the smartest, because they're still going to charge a bloody fortune. So you have enough schools. And then those of you who can pay for that crap, pay them. And those of you who know better than what you're doing and charging a bloody arm and a leg so someone can go to school, that is not right. And anymore, it is going on that you can get your education online. And I'm for that. It's nice to have a teacher, I will say. When I was going to school to become the secretary, and I needed a teacher. I needed an instructor who was standing up there in front of me and telling me, teaching me, writing things on the blackboard, showing things. Because I'm a listener, I'm a learner that way. If you put a book in front of me and I'm supposed to read it and learn it, that's not going to happen. You need an instructor. A lot of times it will help a lot to have an instructor. I got straight A's. I got hundreds. That is bragging, because when I was in school, they had me in a special reading, a special place, okay? Because reading is very important, and I don't read well, and so I was put in a special reading place. Then some, because there's comprehension of what you read and all this stuff. But what it boiled down to was they have timed tests. Put me, I'll teach you a thing or two, but I ought to put it as another video, but I'll forget. Put me in a room where the test is timed. So you're sitting there trying to read and then answer this multiple choice question. Well, what you're supposed to do, and I didn't learn it until the very end, is you go over to the question. You go over to the question, you see what it's all about. And then you go back to the area where you're supposed to read, and you skim across it until you find those basic words. And then you read that and go right to the question. You don't have to read all this stuff. Try to remember all this crap when you get asked this weird question. I don't know if I'm getting through to you guys' heads, but that's the way it was for me. Okay? Not everybody just picks it up the first time, knows what the heck's going on. In fact, nobody does. I was told that I was not the norm. She took me aside and she told me, these people are normal. These people had 3 makeup tests in order to pass with a C. She was talking about English. I took it. Boom. 100%. You are not normal, she said. Understand? So just because someone put you in a special class because you couldn't read very well, that wasn't the problem. I couldn't test well. And that class was real. They had a study skills, but they taught you how to take tests. These tests that are timed and that you get. My brain spazzes out, okay? You put me under that stress of a timed test. And then not have the, because they gave that class about study skills and how to take a test. They gave it the very first part of the class. And see, I didn't start until 2 months later. I was taking the first 2 months worth of classes with the second and third. In other words, I started 2 months late and I had to take all the tests. And I was taking Business English 1 and Business English 2 at the same time. And you need to have already gone through Business English 1 before you take Business English 2. So, talk about a diamond in the rough. I will say, seriously, people, a diamond in the rough. Okay, I know it's almost 30 minutes, so I think I will stop here in a second because I do want to read that. I want to read Matthew 16. So you guys, I'm at 28:38. I'll go one more time around. One more time around, and then I'm going to read Matthew 16, I promise. The kitty was laying on my pillow earlier. I'll show you my pillow. When I had my surgery, okay, there was this pillow. It was ugly looking. But it's this pillow that they sent home with me. And it was for putting across your chest so that you could protect yourself. And probably even hold yourself together if you coughed and stuff. Because you'd been cut open. So anyway, it's just little, okay? But it's all nice and soft. And so I was laying over here on the bed. And the kitty was all curled up and had his head laying on the pillow. It was so cute. So anyway, okay, that's enough of that. I already did it again. I let it pass again. It's okay. That is a nice suitcase. I'm excited about the suitcase. I like it. And it does match my car. So it might be that in the future, when I want to get in my car and go afar, I can just use that suitcase. Plus it matches. It matches my New York City suitcase. Okay, I gotta watch what I'm doing. Okay, this is gonna shut off in just a couple seconds. Thanks for being with me. Thanks if you made it to the end. I'm a person of many different personalities, okay? Different beliefs. I'm a conundrum. I think that's what I'm saying. It's a conundrum. I'll have to look that word up. Oh, I passed it up again. I wanted to get the 33 going on. But it's not important. It's just silly. I didn't do Zumba today, and it rained, so I didn't go out and walk either. And I need to do that. I need to exercise, you people. And you guys need to too, if you're not already. I mean, some people are already out there doing that. And I don't think you need to be running, people. You need to be walking. Don't run. Don't have your meat falling off your bones. And here I am. Can't see me. All right. Bye, y'all. Got a couple more minutes. No, seconds. Happy trails.